here we are, final stretch. And you know what? Every year at this point, we find that our brains are collectively exploding with everything that we've been drinking in over the last 2 days. And sometimes that makes it difficult to finish strong when what we really want to do is put our feet up, talk with our friends and fellow attendees about everything we've experienced and maybe sip a libation or two. So this year, we've decided to let the left sides of our brains have a last inning break. And instead, we want you to tap in to those creative, intuitive, and emotional right sides. Yeah, I know, for some people like me, that's a hard thing to do. But I'm willing to try it if you are. So Anna Wilson and Monty Powell are a Billboard #1 Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter team. And they come to us through the generosity of Zion's Bank and their CEO, Scott Anderson. Over the next hour, Anna and Monty will lead us in a creative, musically based journey focused on idea generation through group collaboration. The goal of the process, besides engaging in a little well-earned fun, is that you'll be helping us create a musical picture of what this conference is all about. Help me bring to the stage Anna Wilson and Monty Powell.
Thank you, Tracy. It's great to be here. Did you have a good conference? Good, good. We're so excited to hopefully be the little cherry on top of your experience here this week. And Monty, take it away.
We're songwriters from Nashville, Tennessee, and spent our whole adult lives writing songs for the radio for people that you know. I've written 8 #1 songs for Keith Urban, for instance. Anna's written songs for Lady Antebellum and Reba McEntire. And a few years ago, we realized that we have been exporting out to the world these 3.5-minute little journeys about life and love, and we sing them in the shower and we fall in love to them. And we had done a really, really bad job of exporting out to the world anything about the actual process of how a song gets created. And so we created song sessions specifically to get together with groups like you guys, teach you some of the tips and tricks that hit songwriters in Nashville use. And yes, in 1 hour, we are going to write an original song. Has anyone out here ever written a song before? All right, there's only 1 or 2 hands that go up. So all of you folks that have never written a song before, your first attempt at doing it is going to be with Grammy Award-winning songwriters, so you get to start from the top down.
What gets better than that, right?
So we're going to kick it off a little bit. I'm actually going to play you a little piece of a song that I wrote with Keith Urban. And we'll start to learn about some of the interesting stories behind songs. This was a #1 song for him. It was the CSAC Song of the Year, which means it was the most performed song at country radio that year. And most people think that the inspiration for this song is a girl. The inspiration for this song is actually a car. So if you listen closely to it, you might be able to figure that out. It's called Sweet Thing. Picked you up from my first date, baby, with your pretty blue eyes. It was so amazing, and a tiny little thought driving me crazy as they were looking at me. I failed open the car door for you when you climbed inside and you slid on over to the other side. And I thought, my, singing, man, sweet thing, the moon is high, the night is young. Come on and meet me in the backyard under the cottonwood tree. It's a good thing, and
wonderful.
Thank you.
That's just your warm up for singing, because you're going to have to sing more as the session goes on.
There'll be some singing, all right. I'd even be a little hand clapping. Talk to us, Hannah.
Well, a few years ago back in Nashville, I had a great opportunity to work with Habitat for Humanity. Has anyone ever built a house with Habitat or worker school? Great. It's a wonderful organization, and we built 10 houses in 5 days on that particular week. And Reba McEntire was the celebrity spokesperson, and Whirlpool Corporation came in and donated all the appliances. It was just a wonderful week. And they asked at the end, well, actually about halfway through, they said, would you sing at the key ceremony on Friday when we give 10 families who've never had a home before the key to their first home? And I said I'd be honored. But then I started really getting nervous. I'm like, what am I going to sing? What such a profound, important occasion in these people's lives. So I wrote a song based on the experience we were having collectively. And when Habitat heard it, they said, this really embodies our message and our mission. And could we use it in our public service announcements? And I was honored, of course, and I said, absolutely. And it appeared in all their PSAs all over the world. And it became the international theme song for Habitat for Humanity. So it was a great thing to be a part of, and I thought I'd just do a little snippet of it for you right now. It's called A House, a Home. Brick by brick, stone by stone, we built a place to call our own. Gonna fill it up with laughter, write my happy ever after. 'Cause for the first time in my life, I'm holding the key to a brand new life waiting on me. Got a welcome mat at the front door to my dreams. Gonna fill all the rooms with my favorite things. Photos of the family, keepsakes and odds and ends. Oh, but most of all, I'm gonna make sure that love moves in. That's what makes a house a home. If you really wanna know, that's what makes a house a home. So glad, so glad I'm coming home. That's what makes a house a home.
Anna Wilson.
Thank you very much.
So that gives you a little background on some of the things that we have done. And now, because we're going to write this song together, we promise we're not going to just leave you hanging. We're going to teach you a little bit about what it is that we do, particularly about group collaboration. In Nashville, generally, it's a co-writing situation, so you're in a room with other people. And collaboration becomes super important in terms of the flow and exchange of ideas and allowing creativity to actually come into your session. So we've got a little PowerPoint here, and we're going to walk you through a few things and give you some of the tools that we're going to use in just a few minutes to actually write this song. All right. We got the 6 10 commandments of collaboration.
Oh,
Did you get that back up?
we get our PowerPoint back up.
There we
we
go.
go.
We wanted there to be 10.
We so wanted there to be 10.
Just didn't quite happen that way, so it doesn't have a whole lot of biblical power to it. But there are 6 10 commandments of collaboration, and the first one's very important. It is,
You know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my head back and shout.
Well, it's exactly what it says. We want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind in this session. The one thing that will squash creativity is the filter, the ones that we put on ourselves, the inner critic, a political filter, just all these things. And so if you are given freedom to say the first thing that comes to your mind, it will spark creativity much faster than if you put that critic on. So we're going to ask you in a few minutes to shout the first thing that comes to your mind.
We are. Number 2.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life.
Everybody has an inner poet and an inner songwriter, whether you know it or not, you do. Oftentimes we don't bring that to the surface because we're afraid of criticism, or we're just a little too self-aware of what we're doing. When we get into a situation where we're given the permission to shout, the second most important rule is to keep on the sunny side. And that means when someone brings something up, our initial reaction as collaborators and as a group is always going to be positive. Always. Because nothing will shut down someone who's sat there waiting their whole life to finally say something creative if the first thing that happens is a negative energy comes back to them. So we're all probably a little familiar with Second City comedy where yes and, and we're going to play that same game. So we're going to shout, we're going to keep on the sunny side, and we're going to cheerlead any sort of input that we get, which brings us in some ways, unfortunately, to the third slide, which is
honesty is such a lonely word.
The great Billy Joel. Anyway, so shouting and keeping on the sunny side and trying to get from point A to point B requires this third trait of honesty, and they're in constant tension with each other, all three of these, because we're wanting to not have that critic squash creativity. We're wanting to be positive. Sometimes the ideas aren't relevant or they don't really fit, and so you have to be able to be honest in a way that doesn't shut down your collaborators or the process, and also really look at it and be like, is this going to get our message forth? Is this going to get me from point A to point B? It may be a great idea. Maybe it's a great idea for another song or another session or another whatever it is that you're working on. And so Monty has a great story about honesty, actually. You should tell
there
him.
are ways to be honest. I wrote a #1 song for Tim McGraw, a song that some of you may know called One of These Days. And in that process, I became familiar with him on a social level, would see him every now and then. And a few years later, I wrote another song for him that I thought would just be perfect. And so I called him up and I said, hey, Tim, I don't bring you a lot of songs, but I got a song I think you'd really like. I want to play it for you. And he said, well, come on down to the office. I'll meet you down there and listen. So I met him down there and I played him the song. And he sat there, his eyes closed, which is a good sign, listening. And when it was over with, he said, man, Monty, that's a really good song. He said, but I don't know, it kind of strikes me that maybe it might make a better girl song. And so I was like, well, shoot, Well, maybe he'll play it for Faith Hill, right? Because songwriters, we're all one, we always see the glass half full because we get about 99% rejection of everything that we do. So I walked out of the room with my tail between my legs a little bit and didn't really think that much about it. And then I happened to bump into him at a local watering hole several months later, and he was sitting by himself in a booth, and he actually looked tired, kind of worn out, and I walked up to him and I said, Tim, what's up, man? You look terrible. And he said, I just got out of a bad meeting. He said, all these old friends come out of the woodwork when you become famous. An old buddy of mine wanted to come by and play me a bunch of songs, and I said, yeah. He played me these songs, and he said they were terrible. And I said, I know that's tough for an artist. What do you do in a situation like that? And he said, well, if I hear a song that's particularly bad, I usually say that would make a good girl song.
Ouch.
So there are ways to go about the honesty piece. Which brings us to number 4.
It's deep, eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival.
Anyone name the year of the Eye of the Tiger? Very
84,
good.
right
Ding,
off
ding,
the
ding,
bat.
ding, ding.
We had
Awesome.
somebody say 1973 a couple of weeks ago. And we're like, really?
Very good, very good.
So the Eye of the Tiger is super important in creativity. This is one of the things that we want you to remember when you walk out of this room. Usually when you're in a collaborative situation and you're trying to piece together a creative jigsaw puzzle, there's a moment when someone in that scheme just immediately sort of taps into the divine, to the creativity. It just starts to flow directly out and through them. And oftentimes it's accompanied by like, oh, I got it. You know, like they, for that moment, are really just streaming pure creativity. We call that having the eye of the tiger. When someone in your collaborative group gets the eye of the tiger, if it's in a meeting or anything that you're in, the thing to do is to shut up, get out of the way, and let them have their runway. Because many times we find out that that moment of clarity, that eye of the tiger moment, is sometimes where the whole idea turns. It's the fulcrum where it all sort of can happen. It usually doesn't last very long. It's generally like a sparkler that's kind of going off bright and then fizzles out. So when someone gets the eye of the tiger, and someone in this room more than one time in the next 45 minutes will get the eye of the tiger, let them run. And if you get the eye of the tiger, know when you have it, have your moment, then back off and let the rest of the collaborators see that little diamond that perhaps you've brought to the process. Number 5.
Well, I'm a steamroller, baby. I'm gonna roll all over you.
Thanks, Taylor. Thou shalt not steamroll. So we've all been in a meeting, a relationship, a conversation, anything, you name it, where someone has steamrolled us. You know, they come in and they're like, it's my way or the highway. I know exactly how this thing is supposed to go, and I'm going to use all of my will and power to wield the group to do my bidding and to do what I want, because I know I'm right. And that person we call a steamroller, and they immediately shut everyone else down, squash the creative energy, and nothing productive gets done. And there's a lot of type A people out there that feel that they can wield and push their agenda forward. And it's not a bad quality to have, but you also don't want to abuse it, especially in a collaborative environment. So you definitely want to be able to identify if you are being steamrolled, and because if you can identify that pretty quickly in someone else, you can find the tools through what we're going to show you to de-energize it and hopefully bring that person around in an honest but a good way, so that it doesn't kill the creative process. And then it's also very important to be self-aware and make sure that in a specific situation, whether you mean to be or not, you're not being a steamroller. So just very important things to keep in mind.
Don't be a steamroller.
Take me up to the ball game, take me up with the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
This is based on the 7th inning stretch of baseball, which we're all very familiar with. And one of the things that we've learned in these collaborative situations, particularly when you're dealing with pure creativity the way a songwriter is, if you're trying to puzzle that last piece in and it's not going the way that you want it to go, there's a couple of things that you need to realize. And this is really important to remember. You cannot will creativity into being. You have to be empty to be able to receive creativity. And a lot of people want to just push and push. They want to push that square peg on the round hole. It's very frustrating, not only for the process, but for the collaboration itself. So we suggest physically getting up and moving, like a 7th inning stretch. Get up, walk outside, go to a different room, look at a different face for a few minutes instead of the one that you've just been, trying to do something with for an hour.
You got to tell them the Keith Urban story, because that's a good one.
Well, I learned this.
It's a good example.
I learned this the hard way with Keith. So Keith and I have been writing together since 1993, and he comes over to the house at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we've got an unstrummed guitar and blank piece of paper, and that's what we start with. And he starts playing these wonderful riffs on the guitar, and, you know, I start tossing out lyrics and melodies and things, and 11:30, 12 o'clock, and he looks at me and he's like, Monty, this is the best song we've ever written.
You really have to work on the Australian accent.
It's terrible,
I mean,
isn't
it's
it?
just,
I sound like a Jamaican guy. And
just being honest with you, I mean.
I gotta call Keith and get some lessons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm excited, right? Because I'm gonna call the pool guy, start digging the pool. He loves the song, right? This is at 12. At 1:30, he looks at me across the guitar. Monty, this is the worst piece of crap we've ever written. What? This is when you take Keith Urban to Wendy's. You get him a chicken sandwich with double cheese, because that's his thing. You feed him, drive back to the house, he picks up the guitar. Monty, this is the best song we've ever written. The song has not changed at all during that entire flow of process. Only Keith Urban's blood sugar level. So take me out to the ball game is very important. Get up, move around, take a walk, come back to it. If you're not empty, creativity will not fill that space. Go empty your brain, come back in empty, and look at how quickly you find a solution to the problem. So those are the 10 commandments of collaboration, and we're going to use them right now. So, Mr. Video Guy, can you pull up our laptop here? Anna's got a laptop. And we've got, yeah, can you see that all right? All right, cool. Our confidence monitor is a little goofy, but as long as you guys are in good shape, we'll do it. Maybe send a tech out here if you don't mind, just for a second, to see why this is kind of flickering. But we'll go ahead and get to work. So the first thing that we want to do is create a lexicon of words.
So we're back to shouting and taking off the filter and the inner critic. And you've all been here at the Women's Conference for a couple days and having great experiences. And you're all coming in from different paths and walks of life and all different careers and situations, but you're having a common experience here at the conference. And so we thought we would focus our energy today in our exercise on the common experience that you're having. And so we would very much like you guys to shout one word, the first word that comes to your mind about the experience you've been having together here at the Women's Conference. I'm going to put up on the board.
Now, raise hand. We got some microphones out there. Also, if you're close, we can just hear you right now.
Yeah, if you feel like you can just shout it out, just do it.
Somebody
We'll
raise
just
a
try
hand.
to.
We're talking about one word right here.
Okay, we might need the microphone.
We need a microphone back
Sorry.
there. She's coming to you.
Yeah,
They're floating around.
there's a
here
few
somewhere.
microphones floating around.
Cleanse. Cleanse.
Cleanse.
Cleanse. Wow, that's a beautiful word. Somebody over here had a hand up. Right over here in the red. Kind?
Kindness?
Kindness. God, I love that. Right here with your hand up. Yes, ma'am. Empowering. Why not? Back there, you got a microphone. Tell us what you're thinking.
Uplifting.
Uplifting. Thank you so much. Right here next to you.
United.
United. God, I love that. Yes. Inspired. Beautiful.
Butterfly.
Right here.
Roar?
Roar?
Oh, somebody said
I
what
love it.
before that?
Butterfly.
Butterfly? Did you say butterfly? Okay.
Wow, cool. Yes, ma'am, in the black.
Inclusive.
Inclusive. Right here. Or whoever's got a, right back here in the black. You're going to get a microphone in 1 second.
Supportive.
Supportive.
Lizzo.
Lizzo. Lizzo's hot, man.
Wait, what?
She's
what
so
was it?
good. You know the truth hurts.
I didn't hear. Monty?
Lizzo, L-I-Z-Z.
Oh, okay.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood. That's awesome. Okay.
Passion.
Passion. We're going to stop right there, and we're going to shut down that shout session for just a second there. And we're just going to look at these words. Cleanse, kindness, empowering, uplifting, united, inspired, butterfly. I love that. Roar, because wouldn't it be interesting to have a butterfly roar, right?
I love that
cool.
notion.
Inclusive, supportive. Apparently, some people have been playing some hip hop. Lizzo, sisterhood, awesome, and passion. So here's the good news and the bad news from a songwriter perspective. These are all fantastic words. A lot of these words you will never hear in a hit song.
Well, Lizzo.
You might hear Lizzo eventually, but you're not going to hear words like inclusive and supportive and empowering on the radio very often.
Not as much. Katy Perry, though, you hear roar.
You would hear roar on the radio, and you're definitely going to hear butterfly.
That's a good one.
So what the songwriter's specific sort of place in the world is we take these difficult pieces of language and we unpack them into a way that is memorable, is poetic, and also unites everyone on a common narrative so that we all begin to see and follow the same thing. And there's an important way that we do that. Tell us about it. Huh?
So it's called Show Me, Don't Tell Me. I'll say it one more time. Show me, don't tell me. Oftentimes, we just say, you know, what we think everybody will understand, and they do, and they will. But if you can show a picture that triggers an emotion or a memory, that point that you're making is going to last way longer and be much more memorable to that person. That will last with them forever. That's why songs are so powerful. You know, we sing them at our weddings and at parties, and to commemorate important things in our lives, life, death, funerals. I mean, songs have a place in our lives, and we associate them back to a certain point. Oh, that was a hit when I was graduating high school. Suddenly I'm 16 years old and driving in my first car. I just got my license. That's what marks time and place for people. So we're going to encourage you with these words. We're going to unpack a few words to make word pictures and not use the actual word. So in other words, like for instance,
something like
which one do you want to try?
Supportive.
Okay.
Supportive is a difficult word, but we all know what it means. But if I just said she was supportive, it just kind of goes blah, blah, blah. So what I want in this next shout session, and we're going to move on beyond just single words now, we're going to encourage you to say entire sentences. They can even rhyme. We're ready for that. But the trick is we want you to give us an image, a word picture, words that describe something that you have to visually be able to see. All right? Because those are the things that A, we will remember forever, and B, we will be creating this narrative that everyone else will start to see. So if we're specific with our images, everyone in the room will start to see the same thing and we'll be on the same path. So someone raise their hand and give me a word picture of what supportive looks like.
Okay, right there.
Hear me?
Yeah.
I'm holding it in my hand.
I'm holding it in my hand. Absolutely. Right over here. I want to hear what she has to say. It's a word picture. You can shout it out from out there if you think you can get it. It lifts me up. How about that? There's action and visualness there. Yes, somebody just get a microphone to someone and get it to us.
A hug from a friend.
A hug from a friend. You have my back.
She's by my
warm-
side.
A warm embrace that thrills you.
A warm embrace that thrills you.
She is by my side.
You by my side. Okay, beautiful. Or she is by my side. I love that too. So we did just some single words. We just chose one out of a list. That's a little bit difficult, but it's not difficult now, is it? I'm holding it in my hand and it lifts me up. I'm talking about a hug from a friend who had my back. It was a warm embrace that thrilled me. I'm so glad that she is by my side.
You guys are songwriters already. We haven't even really gotten started.
Folks, we're 10 minutes into this, and already we sound like poets.
Right.
Because we're taking these difficult conceptual words and we're bringing them to life with imagery. And the only thing that I did was the craft of the songwriter was provide what we call verbal cornstarch, just something that kind of holds it all together. I mean, all I did was provide connecting words. It's already right there from people from all over different places, different parts of the room, different experiences, and we've all written the same thing already.
So I also want to shine a light on, we've done what Monty just said, and there's also the sort of second level, 2.0 version of it, when you're actually trying to create and arc the story and create the narrative and what it is that you really want people to see. And there's a really, there's good and bad ways to do that. But I mean, let's just show them a little back and forth about how to do that.
We'll play the game just as songwriters here in front of you for just a minute. We call this climbing the image ladder. And as you climb the image ladder, the reverse happens. The images start to get more specific. So the higher you go up the ladder, the more specific your imagery gets. And we encourage you to do this in your writing, not just today, but as you write out memos, as you write to your friends. This is really
post
really
on social
important.
media. I mean, just
Whatever
every
it is
form
that
of
you're doing.
language communication can be condensed so much more accurately and put forth to tell not just what you think you're telling, but actually to tell what you mean to tell.
What she said.
Because you're like, well, I said it, and well, in your brain, you know what you mean, but the person receiving it on the other side could have like 5 different interpretations of that same thing, and what is happening is you're not really getting your full point across. So
we play the game. So I'm just going to toss out an image. There's a car sitting in the driveway. Boom. Everyone here immediately sees a car sitting in a driveway. So I've already controlled the narrative just by saying that. Climb the image ladder.
Okay, there's a red convertible sitting in the driveway. That's more fun.
Right, exactly. We've also eliminated all other cars except for red convertibles by just climbing the image ladder one time. So now everyone sees a red convertible. Maybe a Lexus, maybe a Corvette. We can get there, but look how quickly we are controlling the narrative so that you see what we want you to see.
Because before that, you might have even seen like a pickup truck.
Sure.
Or somebody might have seen, a Prius or whatever.
Well, here, there's a red convertible sitting in the driveway with a blonde behind the wheel. Everyone sees that, right?
Okay, there's a red convertible sitting in the driveway with a blonde girl behind the wheel.
See what she did? With one word of gender, she eliminated half of the other images that we could have with just one simple word. We're controlling the narrative. Now we know it's a girl. We only had to use one word to do that. There's a red convertible sitting in the driveway with a blonde girl sitting behind the wheel. And sitting next to her is a dark-haired boy. Everyone see the picture, right? So as we control that narrative, our story starts to be common because we all start to see the same thing. That's why songs are universal. That's why music is the universal language. Start to use these things in your writing, and you'll start to have the impact that a song has, whether it's in a song or not. Now, here's the trick. As songwriters, we will often do tricky things to you. One of the things that we do is called a trap door. We'll set you up for a trap, and then we'll pull the trap right out from underneath you. And the way that we've done that here is like this. There's a red convertible sitting in the driveway and a blonde girl at the wheel, and next to her is a dark-haired boy. Because last night, my daughter left her Barbie toys outside.
So suddenly we're writing a totally different song than the one you maybe thought. Maybe you thought they were going to go out on a date and fall in love, and well, no, maybe this is a song about a dad and a daughter, or
now the song is about a
this
relationship,
child.
between a daughter and a dad, potentially.
Maybe or not. Maybe it's about the child. But you can continue to craft it and build it. So by the end of the song, everyone in the room knows exactly what that song will be about.
What we know for sure is that it's not a full-size car and real people like we all probably saw the first several times that we went through that iteration, okay? This is how we control with image narrative. So we've unpacked this beautifully. Let's do another little quick shout session and get another one of these words.
I like uplifting.
You like that?
Uplifting?
Uplifting. Okay? Uplifting. Somebody raise their hand and show me a word picture of what uplifting looks like.
The words I needed to hear. The words I needed to hear.
The words I needed to hear. Right? Awesome. Right here. You got a mic?
Raise me to the sky. Raise me to the sky.
Raise me to the sky. That's uplifting, right? Yes, ma'am. Right here in the red. You're close.
What is it? Thoughts.
Thoughts like balloons. I'm sorry. Have you written a song before? Yes. She's like, you're fired. Get out of here. I'm telling you, she owns a guitar.
A really good bra.
A really good bra is uplifting. Now, see, if we could climb the image ladder there, but I feel like I might get in trouble. Is it a décolleté? Is it a plunge? Is it a crossfit? Racer?
Boy, you know your fashions here, Monty.
Like every person, I was in the 8th grade one time. I did my studies. We got the Sears catalog.
You're showing your age.
Totally showing my age. The words I needed to hear raised me to the sky.
I think we have one more.
Thoughts like balloons. Sorry. One more back here.
Men's bathroom takeover.
Again?
Bathroom takeover.
Men's bathroom takeover is a very uplifting thing. Why wouldn't it be?
Yes, that's good. I like that. That's awesome.
One more. Who's got a visual image for uplifting?
Highly inspirational.
Highly inspirational. I'm going to challenge you to make it a little bit more visual. I'm going to actually play the honesty card for the first time here. It is highly inspirational, but what do I see? Show me a picture of something that is, in fact,
something physical. Even that still is a little light up my life is
but a shining
a little
light.
a theater, but a light that lights up my life. Even if you just said that, that would quantify that.
A shining light lights up my life. Very visual. I love it. So again, without hardly even trying, we have the warm embrace that thrills me. I'm glad she's by my side. She said the words I needed to hear. They raised me to the sky. My thoughts raced like balloons. I don't know how to do this about the really good rock. So that was a trap door. Well played.
Skip.
My thoughts raced like balloons, but they were disconnected. I thought about a really good bra. I thought about the men's bathroom takeover. Either way, it was highly inspirational.
A shining light that lit up my life. End scene. No, that's great.
I think you guys understand how we take these sometimes mundane, sometimes difficult words, turn them into pictures, and then turn them into songs. So one of the most important things about a collaboration, and please remember this because we all find ourselves, is when you show up for a collaboration, bring something. Do not set a meeting and come unprepared. If you're unprepared, you waste your time and you waste your collaborators' time, and you get 2x waste of time. if you come unprepared. When you come to a collaboration, receive something. Because there isn't any person on the face of the earth that you cannot learn something from if you're open. Never walk away from a collaborative situation without receiving something and without bringing something. So in the spirit of the bringing part, Anna and I got up this morning early, the sunshine was beautiful, and we thought about what you guys were doing here. And we do this a lot for a lot of conferences and a lot of things like this. And one of the things that we always hear that's very difficult is how motivated I am in those 2 or 3 days, and how difficult for the 363 other days it is to keep continuing to press on and to have that high motivation and to have that high energy. So specifically, we wanted to write a little bit about that, and so we have written a chorus, a song chorus for you guys, and we're going to sing it for you, and then we're going to use these words and some of the other things that we've talked about to write the verses that lead us to that chorus, and we'll have our full song. Okay.
All right, so we wrote a song, or a chorus, we didn't write the song, called Shine On. It's kind of where we thought.
And it goes like this. Shine on, keep the light on, so that everyone sees the energy as we pass it on. Shine on, stay strong, and tomorrow will bring, be the change that you seek, and tomorrow will bring a new dawn. If we shine on, shine on, shine on. And that's what we wrote for you guys.
Can you hear it one more time?
We want you to learn it. We want you to sing it with us. We're going to do it for you a couple of times here. Shine on.
Shine on.
Keep the light on.
Call and answer.
So that everyone sees the energy as we pass it on. Shine on. Shine on. Stay strong. Stay strong. Be the change that you seek, and tomorrow will bring a new dawn. If we shine on, shine on, shine on. So that's our chorus. We want you guys to sing the shine-ons in the background, sing along, you can clap, you can whatever. And now we're going to write the verses to that are going to go like da 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 da. We're going to put words here. Da 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 da. Don't be scared. Da 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 da. We'll do it again. Da 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 da. Some of you are already hearing things. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. 'Cause if we shine on, keep the light on, and everyone sees the energy as we pass it on. Yeah, shine on, stay strong, the change that you seek, tomorrow will bring a new dawn. If we shine on. All right, you guys ready? I need to hear a little more enthusiasm than that. That sounded a little bit more like I'm scared shitless.
I'm ready.
So
Come on.
we already got one lighter.
Yeah, we've got
I'm in.
our light ready to be shining back
Let's
there.
go back to where
Yes.
we were a few minutes ago.
Can I have a little more piano in my monitor? Just a tiny bit. Piano. Thanks.
So we're just going to look at some of the stuff we're already kind of have such good stuff.
All right.
So what am I holding in my hand? I'm not holding it. That's not a good enough word. I'm holding what in my hand?
Passion.
Passion. Sister.
Sister. Future.
Love the future.
Future.
I'm holding the future in my hand. That's the opening line to a song, folks. I mean, that works. Let's put it in there. And this will be what we call a little bit of a shaky democracy. We'll facilitate, but we're also going to, you know, we'll vote. We'll see kind of how it is, because this is y'all's song. And we're just here to help you do it. I'm holding the future in my hands. Want to see what we got?
Maybe rhyme it like something understands, like hoping somebody understands, or trying to make somebody understand.
Folks, this is y'all's song. What do we got back here?
Yeah. Taking
she
what?
goes.
Are we back to the taking
She's
the
back
men's
to taking the men's
takeover?
bathroom. Remember number 6, the little steamroller thing? No.
Kidding.
Hey, I don't.
Holding the future in my hands.
Well, I don't know where this would fit because I don't know if we're ready for it. But I was like, we came as strangers and now we share a special bond, or something along with that line, because bond kind of goes with the shine on.
I like it. I like bond. Lift me up, we share a special bond. Look, this is real time. We're just doing this. We're making this up as we go. It can be good. We can go back. We can suck. We say dare to suck is one of our things. But I love the opening, and I love we came in as strangers, now we share a bond.
Mm-hmm.
Holding the future in my hand. We came in as strangers, now we share a bond of da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Can I make one suggestion though? Because we could try this just from puzzling it together. I'm holding the future in my hands, right? And we still have to write this line. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe an and rhyme.
What
of
about
sorts.
we've got plan after plan?
Oh, I like plan after plan. I'm holding the future in my hands. We've got plan after plan. And then I'm gonna write that down in a second. And then we came in as, okay, I gotta write it first because I'm gonna forget it. Hold on.
No, I love that. I'm holding the future in my hands. Yeah, we came in with big plans. That's just me being a little more song about that, like a singer's prerogative to sing something that's a little more rock and roll instead of plan, you know.
Did you say big plans?
We came in with big plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As strangers, now we share a bond. So let's get rid of we came in and just say
I
as
didn't
strangers.
get to finish my thought, but just really quick, I'm holding the future in my hands. We came in with big plans. And then we came in as strangers, something on. And then now we share a bond. Because then we only need like one more word or
Love it.
2-syllable word.
Our sisterhood is strong.
Strong
Our
is a great
sisterhood
word.
is strong. I love that. Let's go. We're doing this in real time. I'm holding the future in my hands. We came in with big plans. Our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers, now we share a bond. That's lyric, right? I love that. I'm holding the future in my hands. Yeah, we came in with big plans. Our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers, now we share a bond. It's a song, people. Oh my God.
It's pretty cool. And I think it does describe your experience.
Yeah.
Maybe here in the past couple days.
I love that. I'm still stunned when it just comes out like that. I'm holding the future in my hands. We came in with big plans. Our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers. Now we share a bond. I would
could
do
even
one thing.
say, but sisterhood is strong. We came in as strangers. Now we share a bond too. You could even quantify the fact that
All of those.
you came together.
Only thing I would change is we came in as strangers and we came in with big plans. I would just do like walked in as strangers so that we don't re-sing came in as strangers. Very technical songwritery shit right there. So, I'm holding the future in my. I've said that word twice. I'm sorry, Tracy. We walked in with big plans, and we get the we walked. We get the WWs, because in songs we're always trying to use alliteration and internal rhymes. We walked. See how that comes off? We walked in with big plans. Our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers, now we share a bond.
Now maybe a second half,
Fantastic.
second verse.
Now we're going to go back. Anything here?
Oh, I love our thoughts raised like balloons. That's
I love my thoughts. My thoughts raced like balloons. I think that's a beautiful
raised
line.
like balloons, or raced, you
Yeah.
said?
Raced. How? What did the thoughts do?
Raised.
Raised.
I think, yeah.
Did they fly? Flew like balloons? Raised? I like raised. Okay. Our thoughts raised like balloons. I think that's fantastic.
Is it on? Go back to your, she's by my side, raised me to the sky.
Love it.
Like that?
I love that. Our thoughts raised like balloons. That will be probably because of the way that the melody's going to go. That will come later, but I love that. She's by my side and raised me to the sky. So we could, what? Shine on. See how that's all starting to push towards the chorus a little bit. Our thoughts raised like balloons.
But like butterflies who swarm the room.
Yeah. Our kindness
I like
filled the room.
What?
I heard our kindness filled the room.
Our kindness filled.
Yeah. Our passion filled the room. I like passion better than kindness.
I would suggest using the word sword,
Okay.
S-O-A-R-E-D, because then you
thoughts
could
soared
rhyme
like
it with roared, which is also in our lexicon list.
Okay, I'm going to go with that. I love that. Our thoughts soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room.
How about
And now we get the internal rhyme, and we're rocking. Our thoughts soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room. That's songwriting. Awesome.
how about instead of thoughts we use the word spirit? Spirit.
Our spirit soared like
Spirits.
balloons. Raise your hands. Thoughts? Spirit. See, democracy can work, just apparently not today. Our spirits soared like balloons. Yeah, our passion roared in the room. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that just awesome?
I love that.
What's next? With my something's by my side, with my
I do like shining the light that lights up my, something about the light lighting up my life going into shine on. Maybe it's pretty cool. Or something about light is pretty cool. What? Something is my guide.
as my guide.
Lizzo as my
With Lizzo as my guide. I actually kind of like that. Except for the Lizzo part. I love with something as our guide. Now it's a collective experience, so we're going to use the our. So our spirits soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room with something as our guide.
What's that? Butterflies. Okay.
Butterflies. With Tracy as our guide.
Or how about Tracy? Let's hear it for Tracy.
Let's
Come on.
hear it for Tracy.
She's a rock star.
Something a little more ephemeral than Tracy.
How about I'm good as hell like Lizzo?
I'm good as hell like Lizzo. Apparently, we're not going to get away from
We're
Lizzo
gonna
in
be
this
writing a
song.
rap song if we're not careful.
We're only a word away here. Let's think about this. Let's focus. Our spirits soared like balloons. Sing it, you know it. Our passion roared in the room with something as
Trust.
our guide.
Trust.
Insight, trust,
Insight, trust,
courage.
courage.
We like courage?
We like
Courage.
courage. With butterflies,
Leading women?
courage seems to be the things to
We
do.
can work butterflies in.
Oh,
We're
we
not
can-
done yet.
yeah, we
We're
can
not
get
done
there.
yet. With courage as our guide.
But
we
just
guide
for a second here, check it out. I'm holding the future in my hands. We walked in with big plans. Our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers. Now we share a bond. Our spirit soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room with courage as our guide.
Okay, now here's the one thing.
Dude, we're kicking ass.
Remember what we're trying to write to. The 363 days that you all are by yourselves and not here, and you have to carry on and shine on in your own self.
What she
That's the
said, very
nugget.
important, because here's what we do as songwriters. We set up a problem and we solve it. We set up a problem and we solve it. What we need to do now is we need to set up the problem, because we're talking about all this good love and juicy stuff that happens in the room. Right now, we need 2 lines from this room that pulls the trap door and says, our spirit soared like balloons, our passion roared in the room, with courage as our guide. Like butterflies,
Like a
we will fly.
we will fly.
But what's the problem? The problem is that we might lose it if we're not careful.
I have an idea.
We what?
We've
I have
been
an idea.
swimming upstream and we dared
hold
to
it
dream.
inside. What you got back here, man?
We've been swimming upstream, but we dared to dream.
We've been swimming upstream because we've dared to dream. These are all great things. Remember, we're just making shit up. I did it again, Tracy. I'm sorry.
Okay, so just here's one thing. Okay, go ahead.
So in the second verse, if you mirror the first verse, our spirit soared like balloons, our passion roared in the room, with courage as our guide. She raised me to the sky, she's still by my side. So that it mirrors the last 2 lines of the first paragraph, which is like, raised me to the sky.
Sure.
She's still by my side. Now we share a bond, kind of the tensing.
And she's still by my side. I love that. I also like, she raised me to the sky like a butterfly.
Could do that.
Man, I'd sing that in a heartbeat. I'd sing that so fast as a poet, you know?
And there's something just about internalizing the experience. Like if you say, our spirits soared like balloons, our passion roared in the room, with courage as my guide. Change the pronoun, because now it's about the individual, with courage as my guide, being inspired by that experience, something, I'm on a road or something, and I'm ready to ride and shine on, and carry that or something forward. What would that personal experience be, instead of you take the strength from the collective, but how do you internalize that to a personal thing that you can actually do individually?
I gotta tell you, I like butterfly. I know you've been harping on it over there, and it's starting to really resonate to me. Our spirits soared like balloons, our passion roared in the room, with courage as our guide. She raised me to the sky.
Or my path is now
where we
in
flew like
sight.
butterflies. Where
My-
we flew like butterflies. It's gorgeous imagery.
Or
Yes.
my path is now in sight.
My path is now in sight. I like the butterfly imagery. I think is more poetic than a path. It's all good. This is the fun part. Usually there's only 2 or 3 of us and not 250 or 300, so it's not quite as whatever. But check this out, because this is really pretty. Our spirits soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room. With courage as our guide, she raised me to the sky, where we flew like butterflies. I think that's gorgeous. I think that's gorgeous.
Also one other thing you try, just really quick. Our passion roared in the room, with courage as our guide. It raised me to the sky like a butterfly. Now I shine on, and you're there. And it's even tighter.
The sky like a butterfly.
Yeah, our spirits are like balloons. Our passion roared in the room, courage as our guide. It raised me, sorry, wrong key. Raised me to the sky like a butterfly. And very Keith Urban.
That's a very Keith Urban phrasing. That's why she makes the big bucks.
And then to shine on.
That's actually really great. That's just why she makes more money than I do, regardless of parity and equality and all that kind of stuff, because she's better than I am.
Not true.
So she should make more money.
Very kind. Very
Our spirits soared like balloons. See what she did here. It was awesome. Passion's roared in the room. Yeah, with courage as our guide. Raise me to the sky like a butterfly, where we shine on. Folks, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Let's sing that. Let's sing this much of this together. I'm not hearing a lot of singing out there. I want to hear what we got out there. Nice and loud. I'm holding the future in my hands. Yeah, we walked in with big plans. Our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers, now we share a bond. Our spirits soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room. With courage as our guide. Raise me to the sky like a butterfly. What do we do? Well, we shine on. Keep the light on. So that everyone sees the energy as we pass it on. Yeah, shine on. And stay strong. Be the change that you seek, and tomorrow will bring a new dawn. If we shine on, shine on, shine on. That is a song, folks. That's a song. Now here's what we want you to do. We want you to go ahead and get out your devices and stuff, because we want to sing this together. Where's our folks that have been holding the microphones? Hand them back to those people. Who's our singers?
Do we have any? Come on, there's got to be singers out there. If you had like the inner curiosity.
We got a singer right here. We got a singer right here. We will be inviting you now to the stage, and you will be coming up right here.
Singers.
Come on.
Come on. Don't be shy.
Come on, folks. Where's our singers?
Don't be afraid to rat out a friend.
We're going to share some microphones. Where's our singers? Where's our Lizzo? Hey, who is as good as Lizzo out there in a few minutes? You got to come and back that shit up now. Come on. If you're as good as Lizzo, get up here. Yeah. Come on, folks. Come on up here. We need you. You'll be able to see the words right here.
Can I make a suggestion?
Hey, I haven't memorized them either. But when they're singing this at the top of their lungs all over the world, then nobody's going to have to read this. They'll know it. Have I got my singers with me? Hey, singers. Thank y'all for coming up. We appreciate that. I know I talk like I'm from Georgia. It's because I am. So we always like to say every time that we do this, and please feel free to get your device out and record this. We're going to start, we'll sing the chorus, and then we'll go to the verses. The world premiere of your song, Shine On. Shine on.
Oh yeah.
Keep the light on, so that everyone sees the energy as we pass it on. All these, they're good. Shine on.
Shine on.
And stay strong.
Stay strong.
Be the change that you seek, and tomorrow will bring a new dawn. If we shine on, shine on, shine on. I'm holding the future in my hands. We walked in with big plans. Yeah, our sisterhood is strong. Came in as strangers, now we share a bond. Our spirits soared like balloons. Our passion roared in the room. Sing it back to us. Keep the light on. Keep the light on. So that everyone sees the energy as we pass it on. Sing it. Shine on. Stay strong. Stay strong. And to change what you see, tomorrow will bring a new dawn. If we shine on, I mean it, shine on. You know we mean it, we will shine on. Everybody, we will shine on. We will shine on. At the top of your lungs, we will shine on. We will shine on. We will shine on. Shine on. Thank you. We're Song Sessions.
Awesome job, you guys.
And that's y'all's song.
That's your song.